Hello everyone and welcome back to my Bold and Beautiful 29 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Taylor new man just might be the stylish vengeance. Is it time for Taylor to break free and let Brooke have Ridge ever? Taylor has been trying to tell herself that Ridge wouldn't transgress and that he's completely committed to their engagement. Taylor's haggling with some precariousness deep down. That's accessible considering all the stories where Ridge has gone back to Brooke and broken Taylor's heart. Ridge is set to devastate Taylor with yet another Brooke reunion, but we can hold out stopgap that it'll be for the last time. It'd be nice if Taylor could have some tone respect and decide that enough is enough. Taylor should know by now that it's no way going to end well for her when she gets back together with Ridge. Will Taylor's coming crushing blow serve as a wake-up call? Will Taylor eventually realize Ridge isn't worth all this despair and that Brooke's always going to be the winner of their love triangle? Taylor is only subscribing up for further pain whenever she takes Ridge back, so perhaps she should break free of this horrible cycle. Still, Taylor needs to stay strong and repel another doomed reunion, if Brooke and Ridge fall piecemeal again nearly down the line. The stylish thing Taylor can do is move on with her life and maybe find a handsome new man who actually treats her right. Taylor needs someone who's devoted to her alone and who doesn't treat her like a backup option or an answer. There's surely a awful Joe out there nearly for Taylor, so we'll see if she can find him after all the Ridge heartbreak that's brewing. Taylor's stylish vengeance strategy might be to just enjoy life with a new man on her arm and ignore Ridge altogether unless their kitties are in extremity mode. Ridge needs to know that Taylor wouldn't be staying in the bodies presently. Indeed, when he acts impulsively over one of Brooke's numerous miscalculations and inescapably wants Taylor back down the road. Taylor's love life is about to suffer some delicate updates, but perhaps this Ridge split will mean good news for her in the long run. Bill will unleash his fury over Liam excrescent's fake eschewal while Hope and Carter engagement ends up at threat. Grace fiddle to light, so Finn will figure it out and push her to come clean to Liam. Grace will confess to faking Liam's excrescence and this miraculous procedure, so he'll be stunned along with Hope. Although Grace may whine that she was backed into a corner through whatever debt she's been drowning in, she'll still have to face the fallout of her conduct. Brooke boat lift with Nick will reach a soppy conclusion when she's thrown into the water. Ridge will plunge in as well and pull Brooke to safety, so that'll be the catalyst for their forthcoming reunion. It'll lead to Ridge realizing that his heart still belongs to Brooke and not Taylor. During the week of August 11th to 15th, it'll be time to face reality back in Los Angeles. Ridge can't be with Brooke unless he ends affects with Taylor, so will he sit his current fiancée down to break some bad news? It's also possible Taylor could find out in a more dramatic way. We could clearly see a tabloid print of Ridge kissing Brooke after delivering her or commodity along those lines. Ridge and Taylor's marriage will be called off soon, so they wouldn't be getting the happy ending she anticipated. They'll presumably get updates on the brain cancer fiddle that Grace has been running. Bill wired $1 million and went through a great deal of emotional fermentation thanks to Grace, so he may unleash his wrath and demand legal consequences. Hope and Carter's future in jeopardy since Daphne will stick around to stir the pot. Daphne will flirt with Carter and hold out stopgap for her own chance to be with him, so she'll clash with Hope as a result. Will Carter ultimately betray Hope with Daphne? That could push Hope back in Liam's direction romantically down the road. Brooke and Ridge, there's a good chance they'll get their own marriage plans back on track. Rather of making Taylor his woman. Again, Ridge may go each in on divorcing Brooke rather, and he may promise it's ever this time. Grace deleted Liam's medical history and made a pledge to her son, Paris, over the phone. Finn checked on Liam and advised about the threat of possible surgery complications. Since Grace hadn't said anything to Liam about the physical remedy he'd need, Finn was suspicious. Finn's reservations grew indeed stronger when Bill admitted he'd paid $1 million for the procedure. There was also some talk about Grace's ex-husband, Reese, who stole Beth because of his gambling debts. The buzz were surely turning for Finn during this whole discussion. Grace got on the phone with the person who's been pulling the strings and advised them to no way bother her or her daughters again. Grace also lashed out at a nanny before apologizing due to the stress she's been under. Grace hit delete on Liam's medical history as she tried to cover her tracks. On another phone call, Grace promised there was nothing she wouldn't do for Paris and her family, Zoe. It sounded like Grace demanded to hear Paris' voice since she was so rattled over the apparent trouble she'd been facing. Once Finn was back at work, he pulled up Liam's train on his laptop. Finn realized everything in Liam's medical records had been deleted after his brain bleed. Soon later, Finn headed to Grace's office, where he refocused out that he just came from checking on Liam. Finn mentioned the $1 million bone price label on the surgery before asking Grace what was going on. Grace looked nervous as Finn claimed he wanted answers now. Ridge gave Brooke a reason since he acted like a haul after she took the CEO position during the preemption. Brooke asked if that was all Ridge came to say before wondering what he really wanted to tell her. Nick intruded moments laterally and led Brooke down for their boat adventure. Eric spoke to Donna Logan over the phone and gave her updates on Nick kissing Brooke as well as having an engagement ring. Donna pushed Eric to find Ridge incontinently and advise him. When Ridge came back to the room, Eric told him that time was running out and participated the news about Nick's imminent marriage offer. Ridge will fight to stop Nick, but the situation's going to come with some twists and turns thanks to a disastrous boat lift. Ridge and Brooke, since they're formally inching their way toward a new morning. Ridge has eventually seen the light about overreacting and blowing up his life with Brooke. After Ridge rescues Brooke following her disastrous boat lift and water spill, it'll put them on the path to living happily ever after, at least as long as that lasts on detergents. Brooke and Ridge will inescapably face further obstacles down the road, but fortune is always on their side. Taylor can't contend with fate, so she'll just have to accept it when Ridge and Brooke reunite. Hope and Liam could also be headed into reunion home soon. Between their history and the fact that they partake a son, there's always going to be an important connection between Liam and Hope. Liam shares an analogous bond with Steffi, but she's wedded to Finn and out of the picture right now due to Wood's motherliness leave anyway. Hope may be engaged to Carter, but some bifurcation news could be brewing if Daphne and her attractive sweats have anything to say about it. Hope and Liam were a popular pairing in the history, so it might be a good idea to let them circle back around. Liam and Hope have learned some delicate assignments and evolved over the times. They could have a long continuing future as a couple. Bill and Katie are another pairing that's long overdue for a reunion. Katie has had some trouble recommitting to Bill after all his miscalculations, particularly the bones he made by pursuing Brooke, but perhaps she could eventually delve in. Bill will need someone to vent to after he gets updates on Grace duping him out of $1 million for a fake procedure. The fact that Liam's excrescence no way indeed was will leave Bill mealy and feeling like a fool. It looks like Katie will be the person who really steps up for Bill and gives him notoriety to lean on. The launch of Bill and Katie reigniting their love, so this classic couple could sizzle formally again and seal the deal on their wind-up status.